Hi, my friend. Today, I have a question. One day, one question. I have a question for my friends, my brothers, African brothers. A question always somebody asks me, and this question stayed in my mind, and the question asked me change my life, and I start doing a research for found that answer. I am Ndizeye Rubasha. I'm your preacher and motivation speaker. We are talking today as African, as Rwandan. We've been, especially for Rwandan, I'm from Rwanda. Rwandese who have been given names from colonial or called Christians, and the names from also Arabs for the Muslim and also for Christians. So my question is, why as Rwandan we have been given this name? Why as Rwandan we could not have become Christian and we keep our Rwandese names? Or why we can't be Muslim and we keep our Rwandese names or African names? That is the question. Why we had to change our names? Who made us to change our names? And now we have done it. We have done it for long times. Where are you there? Can you now change your name, have both African names, and remove whatever other names you have, and then you have both African names? Can you now start naming your children both African names, nice names? And that's the question. Can you do that, you as individual? Because the names is the part of your identification. And identification is the most important thing a human being should carry, because it represents who you are, it represents your community, it represents your family. When you look around the world, every community have their own name. Chinese have their own names, English has their own names, Irish have their own names, Japanese have their own names. But today the example I'm going to mention is the country that India. India is a country also been colonized by British for a long period of time. They colonized them, but they never changed their name. They never changed the way they are praying to their God. So Indians keep their culture of naming. And why as it didn't happen like that? Why we didn't keep our names? And that is something I do admire of that Indian community, the strong for their names. For example, the Prime Minister of England, his background is Indian, British, but he has both names as Indian. All we found Indian around the world where immigrate, they have their names. But when you look around as in Africa, is not there. And for me, this bring a inferiority complex in ourselves. This is what called the identity crisis. This is what affects our children not to be known exactly what their identity is because of these names. You found an African Christian, an African Muslim. Why they have two different names? Why they have two different beliefs? And it is easy to fight between for themselves or to argue and defending both religions. As African, we should become one when we know we are one. When we know these other religions was brought by other communities. They came and they give us, they interfere in our way and interfere in our culture. It will be done for many generations, but now my question comes to you again. Are you willing to change your name to take African names? My names used to be called Alois, and Alois has changed. I removed it. Now I'm called Ndizeye Rubasha. Both my names. Rubasha was my father's name, and Ndizeye is my name. So now I have two African names. So this is now my purpose. This is my vision, to inspire you, to motivate you, to bring back our identification, to bring back our names which representing us, a name which have meaning, a names which bring legacy for our ancestors. Because the names, it's identification. The names is a part of culture. We want to be able to discuss and to talk about it. That's why I give you those questions. And do you know anyone in Rwanda who has both Rwandese names, who haven't given Christians or Muslim names? And we talk, and the good things when you change, it make you a different in mindset. You feel, me I feel very proud to be Rwandan, to have both names, because you represent your culture, you represent your family, because the names have to be through the family. The name present family. And this change, it comes within you. And this change, it comes from one individual. Yeah, this change, it had to come individual, because when they naming us is through the family. Your father names you, you get the children, you name them, and that is how it's happening. So now to change also this, to have these names, you have to go through individual and then through the family. Can you imagine now to see all Rwandan with Rwandese name, or to change name? That is to be free, the freedom of colonialism and the colonialism of mind. And it can happen, because this is what should be. We shouldn't have taken other names. We should become like India, which they've been colonized, and then they keep their name. And they are proud for their name and their culture. We have to discuss this. We have to know there's some other people mixing, which we've been talking, we have been communicating with you. You ask about clothing, you ask about to live in Australia or wherever you live. Those are two things separate. Name, culture, the way you pray to your God, those the emotions which is the part of your culture. All other things, the material, the clothing, the infrastructure has happened, everything the European has brought is just for commercialize. It's just some things we buy. They're not giving us for free so to can have their names. Or the Muslims give you to what they believe, or they give you money so you can take their names, so you can able to defend them. Because that's what we've been discussing with my colleague and my friends, but that is not the reason. I give example, Indian, they travel, they dress, they, whatever, everything they have to have, they have it, but they have their name. So we don't transact your names. Your name is not for sale. Your name is there to represent you. Our names is just the legacy of our ancestors. That is the root. We haven't discussed this, or maybe some people have been discussed this, but they never, what about that? But that is my purpose now. That is why I'm here and been recording, and that is why I'm asking you to follow me on my YouTube channel. We can discuss about them. You can listen more other episodes have been recorded through about our names. My friend, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Rubasha. Need your support you. We need to support each other to be able to inspire each other and to motivate each other. And thank you. I will see you for the next episode.